Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another video. I thank you so very much for joining me once again. Thank you so much to my new subscribers. Go ahead guys, like, share, comment on this video. Go ahead and spread the word. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. But for today, I'm bringing you guys a traditional Guyanese recipe for pepper pot. Alongside, I'll be serving this with some homemade flatbread. I'm also going to have this video uploaded on my channel this week in case you want to have the recipe for that too. So without further ado, let's jump into the ingredients. So for today's ingredients for today's pepper pot, I'm going to be using several different types of meat. You can use whatever kind of meat that you want to, but this is typically how I make my pepper pot. So for today, I'm going to be using some oxtail, and here I have about a pound of oxtail actually. I also have about a pound of beef or salted beef, 1 pound of salted pigtail, about 2 pounds of pork, and 2 pounds of beef that I've diced into cubes. Okay, and I leave mine pretty big because it tends to melt down in the pot afterwards, so that's okay. I also am going to be using some fresh thyme, about 12 cloves of garlic, onions, and 2 scotch bonnet pepper, 4 tablespoons of sugar I have here, about a tablespoon of salt, 2 cinnamon sticks, about 8 cloves, and 1 piece of my orange peel, and of course our main ingredient, which is the Cassareep. Alright, so the first thing you want to go ahead and do, I have a pot of boiling water. I'm going to just go ahead and drop my pigtails into the water and along with the salted beef. And this is just to get some of the salt off of this, guys, because you don't want it to be too salty. So I'm going to let that go for about 15 minutes or so just to get off some of the salt. I've added about a tablespoon of vinegar to the water, and then we're going to let that go. Alright guys, so we went ahead and we washed our meat. So we washed our meat in lemons and vinegar and we rinsed it, set that aside. So what we're going to do now, you're going to take your time. Well, you can chop this up very finely. You can also use a grinder if you have one, but I don't. So I'm going to be using a blender. So just pop everything into a blender and just go ahead and give it a quick blend. Just add a little bit of water to it. Alright, so I added that and about a teaspoon of vinegar to this. I'm going to give it a quick blend. Alright, so just go ahead and add your blended seasoning to your meat. To that, you also want to add some of your sugar, your salt, and then you're going to add your cloves, your cinnamon, the thyme, and you're going to add the main ingredient, your Cassareep. So you're going to start off about a half a cup of the Cassareep, and then what you just want to go ahead and do is just mix this all in. Alright guys, so this is what our meat is looking like right now after you add the Cassareep and your seasons and everything. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take it over here to my crock pot. And I'm going to be putting this in a crock pot. So I'll add that to my crock pot. Let's see how we can put this down here. Alright. So I've added this to the crock pot, and I'm just going to have this fry up a little bit in the crock pot for a few minutes. I've set my crock pot to 3 hours because it's going to cook in here entirely for the 3 hours, okay? It's not going to be a pepper pot without you peppering your pot. So there goes my scotch bonnet. And you can put as much or as little pepper as you want to. If you like it spicy, go ahead and put the whole thing. If not, just put one. If you want more, put more. So I'm gonna let this go for a few minutes. And then we'll add the salt beef and the pigtail. Alright, so my pepper pot was cooking for about 2.5 hours in my crock pot, and this is the final product. Like I mentioned, I made this homemade bread, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the recipe for that too in a later video. But this is my delicious Guyanese pepper pot. It's almost Christmas, guys, so I do hope you try this recipe, and I do wish you a happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and until next time, do stay blessed.